So I just saw this clip going around of when Peter Hitchens went on BBC Question Time 13 years ago and dropped some home truths and basically predicted the future. He also dismantled the entire panel, who included the communist scumbag Owen and the so-called based ex-Tory MP Liz Truss, who, if you can't tell, I do not think is based at all, and I actually think is a traitor, just like Jacob Rees-Mogg, and you'll see why shortly.
Peter Hitchens, those who feel disillusioned with the current political system
are right to do so. They have been systematically betrayed, and I see no end to it. There are so many issues which have been visited on this country by an elite of self-selecting, closed-minded people, well represented here this evening, and actually largely incompetent as well, which have done enormous damage to our way of life. So, for instance, who now has anything to say about the deindustrialization of this country and the destruction of manufacturing jobs under the Thatcher government? Who can reverse it? Who can do anything about it? Who will say anything on this panel about the catastrophe of mass immigration, which has changed this country irrevocably into somewhere completely different from what it was? They won't talk about it. They won't talk seriously about the immense problems of crime and disorder, which affect millions of people in their homes and leave them utterly vulnerable to all kinds of unpleasantness and violence and menace, which they never used to have to undergo. And there is no sense whatsoever that there will be any reform of the criminal justice system or any attempt to put it right again. These are just some of the subjects on which this elite just constantly refuse to discuss.
Why?
So like I said, this debate was 13 years ago, before even the Boris wave had occurred, where that traitor let in over 4 million third worlders in a couple of years, when he was elected to get Brexit done and return our national sovereignty. And how right was Peter? Imagine if there were people in the Tory party at the time who actually took him seriously, instead of laughing at what he was saying, like Liz Truss just did. But unfortunately, we know that never happened, and absolutely nothing has changed, as our elites are still out-of-touch scumbags who lie to get into power and then govern according to their own ideology and don't do anything they were elected to do.
Constantly refuse to discuss.
Why?
Why? Because they themselves have an ideology. They themselves have the ideology of metropolitan bourgeois bohemians. They despise most people outside.
What, are you man of the people?
They despise. Well,
I mean, you're the only person on this panel who is...
I'm no more a man of the people than you are.
I don't claim to be, but you're making a picture on me.
I'm simply saying these are the things which they will not do anything about, which they will not do, because they themselves benefit. They themselves benefit from many of the things which do immense damage. They've benefited from globalization. They've benefited from mass immigration.
Let's talk about mass immigration. Let's talk about immigrants coming over here, propping up our NHS, treating us when we're ill.
They're not affected. Their children don't go to bog standard comprehensives. They're not affected. They're not affected by crime. Yes, I do know how I'm talking about, because I know what they do all the time. They will not discuss these things. They will not do anything about them. They ignore what you say, and you think that at general election time you can do something about it. No, the people who stand before you at general election time for the political parties are people who've been pre-selected. You have no control. If I stood for Parliament, or if he stood for Parliament from our positions, which are quite popular, the fact is the party machines would erase us. The immense amounts of money they're capable of spending, the enormous access they have to the broadcasting organisations, which we don't have most of the time, would make it impossible. Make it impossible.
You've got more access than I have,
would make it impossible. On the contrary, would make it impossible for anyone outside the political consensus.
Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, how true is that in relation to mainstream media access? Just look at what they've done to Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain recently. Not only have outlets like the BBC not covered him at all, I mean, they didn't even include Restore in the BBC Question Time debate for the Makerfield by-election, even though Restore were polling higher, and then wiped the floor with the Greens, the Tories and the Lib Dems. So the BBC, which is public funded and meant to be impartial, completely ignore us, and they've been like that for decades. I mean, just turn on Newsnight any night of the week and there is never any balance there at all. I mean, they literally have anti-British scumbags like Ash Sarkar from Navarro Media and Ava Evans from Politics Joe on every other night. It's an absolute disgrace. So not only does the media deny access to parties they don't like, but our so-called right-wing media like Talk TV, The Telegraph, and even GB News have all run hit pieces on Restore Britain recently. So the whole system is completely rigged against us. Another thing is pollsters don't even prompt for Restore in polls, so the public never get a clear picture of what the level of support is for the party. And speaking of the Makerfield by-election, Peter also mentioned how the Prime Ministers are selected, not elected. Well, case in point, Andy Burnham wasn't even an MP and literally just became Prime Minister off the back of 25,000 votes in a country of 70 million people. So no one can say he's lying about that either.
Peter, sorry, the question was, what would you say to people who feel like you clearly do
what
about
I've just
the current
said.
political association?
I just said it.
Well, no, wait a moment. What would you say to them about how to change things? Are you going to stand as an MP?
I'm sorry.
Are you going to stand as an MP?
No, because for the reasons I've just explained, I wouldn't have the faintest chance. Right. No, my advice to anybody young enough to do so is to emigrate before it's too late.
Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, this is just...
The paper that hates Britain, you heard it here.
This is a...
Well, I obviously disagree with that, but I see his point, and I'm glad Peter didn't leave, as we need all the common sense we can get when our country and media are run by far-left retards.
This is a ridiculous council of despair. I think our country's best days are ahead of us, not behind us.
Well, you and your pal Boris and the rest of the scumbags in the Tory party certainly made sure our best days were not ahead of us, didn't you, Liz? You absolute traitor.
Despair. I think our country's best days are ahead of us, not behind us. And I think Peter Hitchens needs to get with the programme. I got involved in politics, actually, through my mum, who was a member of the CND and used to take me on CND marches. Oh, wow. And I thought this is interesting, exciting. It was the 1980s. There was a big debate about ideas. And I think that, you know, if you want to be involved in politics, you can be involved in politics. And I want more people to be involved in politics. I think we should make Parliament more open, more easier to access, more friendly to people from different backgrounds. I think it is becoming quite an elite of a particular type of professional. I think that's a problem. We need to think about the way it operates, the terms and conditions, all those kind of things. I'm excited by the primaries that we've done in the Conservative Party to get a wider group of people involved in politics. We need to revive local... No, we've got some new ones coming up, actually, David. Maybe Question Time might be involved. But what we need to do is we need to open up politics. We need to make local government count through localism so that people are involved. But this idea that everything is always awful, that's one of the reasons why people turn off politics, because they just hear this constant moaning.
Well, here's the thing, Liz. Like I said before, there was some optimism 13 years ago, before you and your party absolutely doomed our nation's demographic security when you imported over 12 million foreigners, even though you were voted into power time and time again to lower immigration. So people did have a bit of optimism back then. But you turned our country into an Islamic hovel and started locking up over 12,000 people a year for complaining about it on the internet. So as far as I'm concerned, you and anyone else who was part of that government who didn't resign and apologise like Robert Jenrick has done, as an example, are traitors, and I will never forgive any of you for what you have done to Britain.
The Daily Mail might call you the man who hates Britain, after what you just said.
Exactly,
Anybody, the Ed Miliband of our day.
Feel free to call me.
The Rafe Miliband.
It's not Britain I hate. Britain I love. Every field and hedgerow. It's the people who run it.
Or the people who live here.
And who are wrecking it. And so, like anybody who cares about his country, I'm distressed by it. I see no hope from these interchangeable people. She was a Liberal Democrat. For all I know, she still is.
Let's hear from
I know I was, but I'm not anymore. You are a Liberal Democrat.
The person in the second row there. That was you, sir. Yes.
Absolutely torn apart. Peter Hitchens is usually bang on, and he certainly didn't disappoint in this. I just wish our elites weren't such traitors and actually listened to him. But anyway, please let me know what you think about this in the comments, and thanks for watching.